This tutorial is for 5th grade, Module 2, Lesson 1. In this lesson, we're going to use our knowledge of place value and basic facts, particularly when they apply to multiples of 10 and 100, to solve these multiplication problems. The first problem is 23 times 20. So you can see we're going to think of 23 times 20 as first 23 times 2, and then we'll take that answer times 10. The reason we're doing this is we can think of 20 as 2 times 10. So if we break it apart this way, this will allow us to do this multiplication mentally. So let's think of 23 times 2. Well, that would be 2 times 3 and 2 times 20. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 20 is 40. So 23 times 2 is 46. Now, I took it times 2, so now I have to take that answer times 10. So if I take 46 times 10, that tells me 46 is going to become 10 times larger. And we saw in Module 1 that when we multiply a number times 10, all of our digits shift one place to the left. So 46 times 10 is 460. That tells me that 23 times 20 is 460. If I look at the next problem, I'm taking 41 times 200. So in this case, we're going to break that 200 down into 2 times 100. Then we'll take 41 times 2 first, and then take that answer times 100. 41 times 2 I can do mentally. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 40 is 80. So that would be 82. I'm going to take 82, and I'm going to multiply that times 100. That's the second part of the problem. When we multiply times 100, our digits shift 2 places to the left. So that means that 82 times 100 is 8,200. And that tells me that 41 times 200 is 8,200. The next one is 50 times 600. So again, we'll think of that 600 as 6 times 100. I'll start by finding 50 times 6. Well, I know that 5 times 6 is 30. Multiply that by 10 to show me 50 times 6. So 50 times 6 is 300. I'll take 300 and I'll multiply that times 100, which means my digits will shift 2 places to the left. And so my final answer is 30,000. 50 times 600 is 30,000. The next section is true or false questions. We don't have to figure out the final product for these problems to figure out whether the equations are true or false. Let's just use some logical thinking. So the first one says 6 times 10 is equal to 20 times 3. If we think through this, I have 6 times 10 on the left-hand side. Well, 20 times 3 is 60. So if this is 60, and I know 6 times 10 is 60, the two sides cannot be equal because on the right side, we're still taking it times another 10. So we'll say that one is false. In problem B, I have 44 times 2, and I'll take that times 10. On the right-hand side, I have 440 times 2. So if I think about this, if I take 44 times 10, that's the same as 440, so that matches up here. And then I took that times 2, just like I take it times 2 on the right-hand side. So that tells me that that equation is true. And in this section, we're going to look at those same patterns. So if I look at problem A, it tells me from the start that 7 times 9 is 63. So we want to remember that. Moving over, we have 7 times 90. Well, 90 is the same as 9 times 10. I can then use my associative property where I'm changing the order in which I'm multiplying things. I can take 7 times 9 and get 63. We determined that from the first part, and then take that times 10, which would be 630. Multiplying by 10 moves the digits to the left one place value. So 7 times 90 is 630. I'm going to follow the same pattern on the last part of the question. Now I'm taking 7 times 900. I can think of 900 as 9 times 100. 7 times 9 is 63. Then times 100 moves those digits over 2 places to the left. So 7 times 900 is 6,300. For the remaining problems, the students do not have to write out all the steps if they can do this mentally. So we'll start with 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 30 is the same thing as 4 times 3 times 10. So 4 times 3 is 12. Times 10 would be 120. And then the last part of the problem, 4 times 300 is the same as 4 times 3 times 100. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 100 moves everything over 2 places. So the answer is 1,200. So again, it's fine in this section if the students do this mentally, if they don't need to follow all of the steps in example A.